You will start, Mataji. You can go over to 2 minutes, okay? No? I'll put this on. New Finder window. Desktop. Salesforce. Also personal Casey. And they have. Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavansham Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sadhana Lalita Sri Vishakhantam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaurabhakta Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaurabhakta Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaurabhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Yeah, thank you for joining Vanilla Mataji, Samyukta Mataji, Srila Mataji. Let other devotees join, but let us begin with the Mangala Sharana prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim yatkripātamaham vande Shri Gurum Dīnatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. So we are at chapter 6, perception of the super soul. Yeah, Mataji, Samyukta Mataji, Arvindra Mataji, please begin.
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah. Oh,
Yes. Perception of the super soul. Prashantamanasam bhayenam yoginam sukhamuttamam upaiti santa rajasam brahma bhutam akalmasham. The yogi whose mind is fixed on me verily attains the highest happiness. By virtue of his identity with Brahman, he is liberated. His mind is peaceful, his passions are quieted, and he is sin. He is free from sin. Bhagavad-Gita, 6th chapter, 27th shloka. Yunjanevam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmashaha sukhena brahma samparsham atyantam sukhamashnute. Study in the self, being freed from all material contamination. The yogi achieves the highest perfectional stage of happiness in touch with the supreme consciousness. Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 28th shloka. So here is the perfection. The yogi whose mind is fixed on me. Since Krishna is speaking, the me refers to Krishna. If I am speaking and saying, give me a glass of water, I do not intend that the water be supplied to someone else. We must therefore clearly understand that since Bhagavad Gita is being spoken by Sri Krishna, when he says unto me, he means unto Krishna. Unfortunately, there are many commentators who deviate from these clear instructions. I do not know why. Their motives are no doubt nefarious.
Nefarious, yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
78.
सर्वभूतास्तमात्मानं सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि इक्षेतयोगयुक्तात्मा सर्वत्र समदर्शनः. A true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized man sees me everywhere. Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 29th shloka. Sarva bhuta stamatmanam. A true yogi observes me in all beings. How is this possible? Some people say that all beings are Krishna and that therefore There is no point in worshipping Krishna separately. Consequently, such people take to humanitarian activities, claiming that such work is better. They say, why should Krishna be worshipped? Krishna says that one should see Krishna in every being. Therefore, let us serve Daridra Narayana, the man in the street. Such misinterpreters do not know the proper techniques which have to be learned under a bona fide spiritual master. A true yogi, as explained before, is the devotee of Krishna, and the most advanced devotee goes forth to preach Krishna consciousness. Why? Because he sees Krishna in all beings. How is this? Because he sees that all beings are part and parcel of Krishna. He also understands that since these beings have forgotten Krishna, it is his duty to awaken them to Krishna consciousness. Sometimes missionaries go forth to educate primitive, uneducated people just because they see that they are human beings and so deserve to be educated in order to understand the value of life. This is due to the missionary's sympathy. The devotee is similarly motivated. He understands that everyone should know himself to be part and parcel of Krishna. The devotee understands that people are suffering due to their forgetfulness of Krishna. Shall I read Prabhuji or?
Yeah, okay, Mata. Thank you. Thank you for reading, Mataji. Yeah. Yeah. Vinala Mataji?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Everything? Sorry, Mataji.
Sirisha Prabhu. Can I read? Prabhu?
Sadan, yeah. Yes.
Thus the devotee sees Krishna in everything. He is not under the illusion that everything has become Krishna. Rather, he sees every living being as the son of God. If I say that this boy is the son of Mr. Johnson, do I mean that this boy is Mr. Johnson himself? I may see Mr. Johnson in this boy because this boy is his son. But the distinction remains. If I see every living being as the son of Krishna, I see Krishna in every being. This should not be difficult to understand. It is neither an association nor a vision, but a fact. When a devotee sees a cat or a dog, he sees Krishna in him. He knows that a cat, for instance, is a living being, and that due to his past deeds, he has received the body of a cat. This is due to his forgetfulness. The devotee helps the cat by giving it some Krishna prasada so that someday the cat will come to Krishna consciousness. This is seeing Krishna in the cat. The devotee does not think, oh, here is Krishna. Let me embrace this cat and serve this cat as God. Such thinking is nonsensical. If one sees nonsensical. If one sees a tiger, he does not say, oh, here is Krishna. Come one, please eat me. The devotee does not embrace all beings as Krishna, but rather sympathizes with every living being because he sees all beings as part and parcel of Krishna. In this way, the true yogi observes me in all being. This is real vision. Whatever is done in Krishna consciousness, knowingly or unknowingly, will have its effect. Children who bow down or try to vibrate Krishna's name or clap during Krishna Kirtana are actually accumulating so much in their bank account of Krishna consciousness. Fire will act whether one is a child or an adult. If a child touches fire, the fire will burn. The fire does not say, oh, I will not burn him. He is a child and does not know. No, the fire will always act as fire. Similarly, Krishna is the supreme spirit. And if a child partakes in Krishna consciousness, he will be affected. Krishna will act whether the child knows or does not know. Every living being should be given a chance to partake of Krishna consciousness because Krishna is there and will act. Therefore, everyone is being invited to come and take prasada because this prasada will someday take effect. Can I continue, Prabhuji?
Continue.
We should be careful not to make the mistakes of thinking that everyone is Krishna. Rather, we should see Krishna in everyone. Krishna is all pervading. Why is he to be seen only human beings? As stated in Brahma Samhita, he is also present within the atom. Andantarastha paramanuchayatarastam. The word paramanu means atom, and we should understand that Krishna is present in the every atom. A true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. How does the yogi see every being in me? This is possible because the true yogi knows that
Everything.
everything that we see is Krishna. We are sitting on this floor or on this carpet, but in actuality we are sitting on Krishna. We should know this to be a fact. How is this carpet Krishna? Is it Krishna because it is made of Krishna energy? The Supreme Lord has various energies, of which there are three primary divisions: material energy, spiritual energy, and marginal energy. Parasya Saktir Vividaiva Shruyate. We living entities or marginal energy. The material world is material energy and the spiritual world is spiritual energy. We are marginal energy in the sense that we can be either spirituality or materially situated. There is no third alternative. Either we become materialistic or spiritualistic. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Internal energy, external energy, marginal energy. Tatastha Shakti, Antaranga Shakti, Bairanga Shakti, Tatastha Shakti. Bhakti Shastra, we have read this one. So either we be completely materialistic way of life, or we can go upwards and completely in a spiritual, spiritualistic way. There is no third alternative, Prabhupada writes. That's why it's called middle, marginal energy. Either we can elevate by adapting Bhakti Yoga principles going upward, or no need to follow, just eating, sleeping, mating, and materialistic way of life going down. Other planetary systems. Yes, that's what Srila Prabhupada writes. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. Multiple energies. As in that three are primary, Prabhupada mentioned, primary divisions. Okay, thank you for reading, Mataji. Who is this next? Who is Aniket Hare Krishna, Mataji? Who is this? Okay. Lakshmi Mataji, who want to read?
Sorry, Prabhuji, I didn't change the name, I guess. This is Pallavi.
Thank you, Pallavi Mataji. Okay, thank you for joining, Mataji. You want to read?
Yeah, Prabhuji will read.
Yeah, after that, Lakshmi Mataji, you can read, okay?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Chadanvi, Padam Pallavi Mataji.
Yeah, okay. As long as we are in the material world, we are stated on the material energy. We are seated on the material energy. And therefore, we are situated in Krishna. Because Krishna's energy is not separate from Krishna. A flame contains both heat and illumination. Two energies. Neither the heat nor the illumination are separate from the flame. Therefore, in one sense, heat is fire and illumination is fire, but they can be distinguished. Similarly, this material energy is also Krishna, and although we are thinking that we are sitting on this floor, we are actually sitting on Krishna. Therefore, it is stated, the self-realized man sees me in sees me everywhere. Seeing Krishna everywhere means seeing every living being as well as everything else in relationship to Krishna. In the 7th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, 7.8, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna how he can be seen in various manifestations. Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi sashi suryayoha pranavaha sarva vedesu sabdah ke paurusam nrasu. O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and ability in man. Water is drunk by all living entities and is needed by birds, beasts, and man. It is not only used for drinking, but for washing and for cultivating plants as well. A soldier on the battlefield can understand how important water is. When fighting, being
Become thirsty.
soldiers become thirsty, and if they have no water, they die. Once a person has learned the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, whenever he drinks water, he sees Krishna. And when does a day pass when we do not drink water? This is the way of Krishna consciousness. I am the light of the sun and the moon. So whether in the day or the night, we see either sunshine or moonshine. How then can we forget Krishna? This then is the way of perfect yoga. We have to see Krishna everywhere and at all the times. Yamam pasyati sarvatra sarvam च मयि पास्यन्ति तस्या तस्याहं न प्रणास्यामि स च मे न pranasyanti. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. Bhagavad Gita 6.30. This is Sadatad Bhava Bhavitaha, always remembering Krishna. If we practice living in this way, we never lose Krishna and are never lost to Krishna. And at the same time of death, we are therefore sure to go to Krishna. If you are not lost to Krishna, where can we go but to Krishna? In the 9th chapter, Krishna tells Arjuna, Kaunteya prati janhina me bhaktaha pranasyanti. Bhagavad Gita 9.31. O son of Kunti, declare it bodily that my devotee never perishes. Simply don't.
Bold. Yeah.
Sorry.
Declare it boldly. Yes.
So, O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Simply don't lose sight of Krishna. That is the perfection of life. We can forget everything else, but we should never forget Krishna. If we can remember Krishna, we are the richest of men, even though people may see us as very poor. Although Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami were learned scholars and very opulent ministers, they adopted the poor life of mendicants. In this Sri Sad Goswami Ashtaka, verse 4, Srinivasa Acharya thus describes the 6 Goswamis. మీరు చదువుతారా ప్రభుజీ?
చేస్తాను. దీనికి వేరే ఉంటది, పాటలా ఉంటది మొత్తం ఇది.
అదే.
తూర్ణమశేషమండలపతి శ్రేణిం సదా తుచ్చవద్ భూత్వా దీన గణేశ కరుణయా కౌపీన కంతశ్రితౌ గోపీ భావరసామృతాబ్ది లహరి కల్లోల మగ్నౌ ముహుర్ వందే రూప సనాతనౌ రఘుయుగౌ శ్రీజీవ గోపాలకౌ. చదవండి.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis.
Sri Rupa Goswami,
Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who cast off all aristocratic association as insignificant. To deliver poor, conditioned souls, they accepted lion cloths and became mendicants, but they were always merged in the ecstatic ocean of the gopis, love for Krishna, and they were always bathing repeatedly in the waves of that ocean. The words Kaupina Kantha Sritau indicate that the Goswamis were simply wearing underwear and a lion cloth and nothing else. In other words, they accepted the poorest way of life as mendicants. Generally, if one is habituated to living according to a high standard, he cannot immediately lower his standard. If a rich man accepts such a poor condition, he cannot live. But the Goswamis lived very happily. How was this possible? Gopi Bhava Rasamrita Rasamritabdi Lahari Kallola Magnau Muhul Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghu Yugau Sri Jiva Gopala Kau. They were actually rich because they were constantly dipping themselves in the ocean of the loving affairs of the gopis. If one simply thinks of the gopis' love for Krishna, one is not lost. There are many ways not to lose sight of Krishna. If we do not lose sight of Krishna, then we will not be lost. A person in Krishna consciousness certainly sees Lord Krishna everywhere and he sees everything in Krishna. Such a person may appear to see all separate manifestations of the material nature, but in each and every instance, he is conscious of Krishna, knowing that everything is a manifestation of Krishna's energy. Nothing can exist without Krishna, and Krishna is the Lord of everything. That is the basic principle of Krishna consciousness. How does the devotee know that everything is a manifestation of Krishna's energy? First of all, a Krishna conscious person is a philosopher. If he sees a tree, he thinks, what is this tree? He then sees that the tree has a material body, just as he has a material body, and that the tree is also a living entity. But due to the tree's past misdeeds, he has obtained such an abominable body that he cannot even move. The tree's body is material energy, and the devotee automatically questions whose energy? Krishna's energy. Therefore, the tree is connected to Krishna. Being a living entity, the tree is part and parcel of Krishna. In this way, the Krishna conscious
person.
The Krishna conscious person does not see the tree but sees Krishna present. That is Krishna consciousness. You don't see the tree, you see Krishna. That is the perfection of yoga, and that is also samadhi. Krishna consciousness is the development of love of Krishna, a position transcendental even to material liberation. Why does the Krishna conscious person take such an account of the tree? Because he has love for Krishna. If you love your child and your child is away, you think of him when you see his shoes. You think, oh, this is my dear child's shoe. It is not that you love the shoe, but the child. The shoe, however, evokes that love. Similarly, as soon as we see Krishna's energy manifested in a living entity, we love that entity because we love Krishna. Therefore, if we love Krishna, universal love is accounted for. Otherwise, universal love is nonsensical because it is not possible to love everybody without loving Krishna. If we love Krishna, universal love is automatically there. Without being Krishna conscious, a person may say, here is my American brother and here is my Indian brother. Now let us eat this cow. Such a person may look on other humans as brothers, but he looks the cow as food. Is this universal love? A human universal love. A Krishna conscious person, however, thinks, oh, here is a cow, here is a dog. They are part and parcel of Krishna, but somehow or other they have acquired different bodies. This does not mean that they are not my brothers. How can I kill and eat my brothers? That is true universal love, rooted in love for Krishna. Without such Krishna consciousness, there is no question of love at all. Krishna consciousness is the stage beyond self-realization in which Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you, Mata. I mean,
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
other devotees also, let them read. Thank you. So this is what it is. Prabhupada explained about we have to, and how to see Krishna everywhere actually. He started with that verse, Rasoham Apsu Kaunteya. Every day without water, all other living entities also without water, they cannot live. So while we take water, we have to remember Krishna. That's it. Simple. This is water. Krishna is there in this energy, water. Rasoham Apsu Kaunteya. And practical witnessing every day, sunshine and moonshine. Sashi Suryayo. Sashi and Suryayo. Sashi means moon, Suryayo means sun god. Sunlight we are seeing, moonlight we are seeing. We would experience. And everything is in relation with Krishna. Trees, other material objects in connection with Krishna, because everything comes from him. That means we have to see everywhere Krishna. Yomam Sarva, that is Prabhupada quotes that from Bhagavad-Gita. Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra, Sarvam cha Mai Pashyati, Tasyaham na Pranasyami, Sacha me na Pranashyati. For one, that is a beauty. Actually, 6.30. Sada Tadbhava Bhavita, always remembering Krishna by looking at his creation. Actually, that's way of meditating actually. Everywhere Krishna is there. Krishna's energy is there. Right? For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost. Nor is he ever lost to me. High statement, itlo big meaning on it. You just have to practice. It starts with sunshine, moonshine, water, by drinking water, whatever we see in connection with Krishna, because everything comes from Krishna. Right? So that's the thing. So here, Prabhupada lastly, brother. So if we see other living entities, part and parcel of Krishna, then some people are eating food, meat eating, cow slaughterhouses. Then what is the universal love? Why? How are they placing the universal brotherhood? So without such Krishna consciousness, there is no question of love at all. What is that without Krishna consciousness? By understanding everything, other living entities, his material energy come from him, part and parcel of Krishna. Yes. Yeah. Lakshmi Mata, continue. Yes, please continue from here. Hare Krishna Mataji, Lakshmi Mataji. Oh, Lakshmi Mata Leru. Okay. Sunil Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, I think my internet is feasible. I think I saw 6 devotees, other 2 devotees, Lakshmi Mataji and
Right now there are 4 only,
yeah,
including me.
that's very
Might
internet
be they
issue.
might have dropped. Yeah, internet issue.
Maybe internet
Okay, from
issue.
where I have to read, Prabhuji?
From here, Prabhu.
Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the stage beyond self-realization, in which the devotee becomes one with Krishna in the sense that Krishna becomes everything for the devotee, and the devotee becomes full in loving Krishna. An intimate relationship between the Lord and the devotee then exists. In that stage, the living entity attains his immortality. Nor is the personality of Godhead ever out of sight of the devotee. To merge in in Krishna is spiritual annihilation. A devotee takes no such risk. It is stated in the Brahma Samhita 5.38, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sa Deva Hridyasyu Vilokayanti.
Yeah. Next in that page. Premanjana Achyuta Bhakti Vilochana. Brahma Samhita Prabhu. Yes. Read it from here. Yam Shama Sundaram.
Okay. Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajan. I worship the primeval Lord Govinda, who is always seen by the devotee, whose eyes are anointed with the pulp of love. He is seen in his eternal form of Sham Sundara, is situated within the heart of the devotee. One who has developed such a love for Krishna sees Sham Sundara, Karta Misena, always within his heart. At this stage, Lord Krishna never disappears from the sight of the devotee, nor does the devotee ever lose sight of the Lord. In the case of a yogi who sees the Lord as Paramatma within the heart, the same applies. Such a yogi turns into a pure devotee and cannot bear to live for a moment without seeing the Lord within himself. This is the real process by which we can see God. God is not our order supplier. We cannot demand, come and show yourself. No, we first have to qualify ourselves, then we can see God at every moment and everywhere. Sarva bhuta sthitham yo mam bhajati evatvam ashita sarvatha varto mano api sa yogi mai vartate. The yogi who knows that I am the super soul within all creatures are one, worships me and remains always in me in all circumstances. 6.31 Bhagavad-Gita. A yogi who is practicing meditation on the super soul sees within himself the plenary portion of Krishna as Vishnu with four hands, holding conch shell, wheel, club, and lotus flower. This manifestation of Vishnu, which is the yogi's object of concentration, is Krishna's plenary portion, as stated in Brahma Samhita 5.48. Yashya Yaki Nisvasyat. आप पढ़ेंगे प्रभु जी? You can read this.
You can try if you want. You can try, Prabhu.
Okay, I can try. Yes,
Sure.
yes, yaika nisvasita kalam athavalambya chivanti loma vilaja jagad anda natha vishnur mahan sat iha yasya kala visheso govindam adipurusham tamam bhajami.
Yeah, you continue, Prabhu. Yes. The meaning is given.
Yeah. The Brahmas and the other lords of the mundane worlds appear from the pores of Mahavishnu and remain alive for the duration of his one exhalation. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, for Mahavishnu is a portion of his plenary portion. The words Govinda Madi Purusham Tamam Bhajami, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, are most important. The word Adi means original, and Purusham means the Lord as the original male, the original enjoyer. Then who is this Govinda whose plenary portion is the Mahavishnu, and what is the function of the Mahavishnu? In every universe, there is a primary original living entity known as Brahma. The life of Brahma is the life of the universe, and this life exists during only one breathing period, exhalation and inhalation of Mahavishnu. The Mahavishnu lies on the causal ocean, and when he exhales, millions of universes issue from his body as bubbles and then develop. When the Mahavishnu inhales, these millions of universes return within him, and this is called the process of annihilation. That, in essence, is the position of these material universes. They come out from the body of Mahavishnu and then again return. In the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita 9.7, it is also indicated that these material universes are manifest at a certain period and are then inhibited. Sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpa shya punastani kalpa do visrjami aham. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, every material manifestation enters into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I again create. The creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this material cosmic manifestation are completely dependent on the supreme will of the personality of the Godhead. At the end of the millennium means at the death of Brahma. Brahma lives for 100 years, and his one day is calculated as 4.3 billion.
Yeah.
4.3 billion of our earthly years.
Yes, Prabhu. His calculation.
His night is of the same duration. His month consists of 30 such days and nights, and his years of 12 months. After 100 such years, then Brahma dies. The devastation or annihilation takes place. This means that the energy manifested by the Supreme Lord is again wound up in himself. That is the Mahavishnu inhales. Then again, when there is need to manifest the cosmic word, it is done by his will. Although I am one, I shall become many. This is the Vedic aphorism. He expands himself in this material energy and the whole cosmic manifestation again takes place. Since, shall I continue?
Yeah, continue.
Since the entire creation and annihilation of the material universes depend on the exhalation and inhalation of the Mahavishnu, we can hardly imagine the magnitude of that Mahavishnu. And yet, it is said here that this Mahavishnu is but a plenary portion of the plenary portion of Krishna, who is the original Govinda. The Mahavishnu enters into each universe as Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and Garbhodaksha Vishnu further expands as Shirodaksha Vishnu, and it is this Vishnu form that enters into the heart of every living. In this way, Vishnu is manifest throughout the creation. Thus, the yogis concentrate their mind on the Shirodaksha Vishnu form within the heart, as stated in the last chapter of Bhagavad-Gita 18.61. Ishwarya sarva bhutanam hriday dese arjuna tisthati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated on a machine made of material energy.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Yeah. I see other devotees. Let me ask them to read. Hare Krishna, Rutvija Mataji, Hare Krishna. Then Sapan Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Would you like to read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you for joining, Prabhu. You can read from here, from this section, this paragraph.
Thus, according to the yogic processes, the yogi finds out where the Shirodaksha Vishnu is seated within the heart, and when he finds this from there, he concentrates on him. The yogi should know that this Vishnu is not different from Krishna. Krishna in this form of supersoul is situated in everyone's heart. Furthermore, there is no difference between the innumerable supersouls present.
One second. Yeah. Present. Yeah.
In the innumerable hearts of living entities. For example, there is only one sun in the sky, but this sun may be reflected in millions of buckets of water. Or one may ask millions and trillions of people, where is the sun? And each will say, over my head. The sun is one, but is reflected countless times. According to the Vedas, the living entities are innumerable. There is no possibility of counting them. Just as the sun can be reflected in countless buckets of water, Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, can live in each and everyone's heart. It is this form that is Krishna's plenary portion, and it is this form on which the yogi concentrates. One who is engaged in Krishna consciousness is already a perfect yogi. In fact, there is no difference between a Krishna conscious devotee always engaged in transcendental loving service of Krishna and a perfect yogi engaged in meditation on the supersoul. There is no difference between a yogi in samadhi, in a trance meditating on the Vishnu form, and a Krishna conscious person engaged in different activities. The devotee, even though engaged in various activities while in material existence, remains always situated in Krishna. This is confirmed in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of Srila Rupa Goswami. The Nikhilavas api avasthu jivan mukta scha huyate. A devotee of the Lord always acting in Krishna consciousness is automatically liberated. This is also confirmed in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita. Mam chayo vyabi charena bhakti yogena sevata sagunan samatiyatan brahma bhuyaye kalpate. Continue, Prabhu.
Yes, read it.
One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahma. Thus, the devotee engaged in unalloyed devotion devotional service has already transcended the material modes of nature. Being situated on the Brahma platform means being liberated. There are three platforms: the bodily, sensual, the mental, and the spiritual.
Yeah, the spiritual platform.
The spiritual platform is called Brahma platform, and liberation means being situated on that platform. Being conditioned souls, we are presently situated on the bodily or sensual platform. Those who are a little advanced, speculators, philosophers, are situated on the mental platform. Above this is a platform of liberation, Brahma realization. That the devotee always acting in Krishna consciousness is automatically situated on the liberated platform of Brahma is also confirmed in Narada Pancharatra. Dikkalyada anavachine Krishna cheto vidyacha tanmayo bhavati sipram jivo brahmani yojayat. By concentrating one's attention on the transcendental form of Krishna, who is all pervading and beyond time and space, one becomes absorbed in the thinking of Krishna and then attains a happy state of transcendental association with him. Krishna consciousness is the highest state of trance in yoga practice. This very understanding that Krishna is present as Paramatma in everyone's heart makes the yogi faultless. The Vedas confirm this inconceivable potency of Lord as follows. Eko pisan bahuda yo vabhati asvaryad rupam ekam cha suryavad bahudetye. Vishnu is one, and yet he is certainly all-pervading. By his inconceivable potency, in spite of his one form, he is present everywhere. As the sun, he appears in many places at once. Atmaupayamyena sarvatra samam pasyati yo juna sukham vayadi vadukam sayogi paramomata. He is a perfect yogi who, by comparison to his own self, sees the true equality of all beings both in their happiness and distress.
Yeah, you can complete this. Yes.
Okay, Arjuna, this is a true universal vision. It is not that God is sitting in my heart and not in the heart of a dog, cat, or cow. Sarva Bhutana means that he is sitting in the hearts of all living entities, in the human heart and in the ant's heart. The only difference is that cats and dogs cannot realize this. A human being, if he tries to follow the Sankhya Yoga or the Bhakti Yoga system, is able to understand. And this is a prerogative of human life. If we miss this opportunity, we suffer a great loss. For we have undergone the evolutionary process and have passed through more than 8 million species of life in order to get this human form. We should therefore be conscious of this and careful not to miss this opportunity. We have a good body, the human form, and intelligence and civilization. We should not live like animals and struggle hard for existence, but should utilize our time thinking peacefully and understanding our relationship with the Supreme Lord. This is the instruction of Bhagavad-Gita. Do not lose this opportunity. Utilize it properly.
Thank you, Sapan bro. Yeah, Hari Bol. Nice.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yeah, use it properly. Our time and human form of Brahma. Durlabha Manush Janma. Many times we quote. This is from Bhagavatam. Durlabha Manusha Janma. Very rare to get this human form of body after transmigrating from one body to another. There are 8,400,000, 84 lakhs species of life. After going through, we got this human body. So it's very rare. Utilize this opportunity, understand the seriousness of the human form of life, and live accordingly as per the scriptures, especially Bhagavad-Gita, Bhagavatam. So that's what it is. So in this previous chapter, the perception of the soul and discussed different things from different scriptures. And in this chapter, Prabhupada talks about yoga for the modern age. This is chapter 7. Okay, so let us read this also. Whoever not read, Rutvaja Mataji, but already I'm not able to see her. Okay. Then again, Samyukta Mataji, please, Malichavan Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Chapter 7 Yoga for the Modern Age. Arjuna Vacha. Yoyam Yogastvaya Prokta Samyena Madhusudana Etasyaham na pashyami chanchalatvat sthitam sthiram. Arjuna said, O Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and unendurable to me. For the mind is restless and unsteady. Bhagavad-Gita, 6th chapter, 33 shloka. This is the crucial test of the eightfold Ashtanga Yoga system, expounded herein by Lord Sri Krishna. It has already been explained that one must sit in a certain way and concentrate the mind on the form of Vishnu seated within the heart. According to the Ashtanga Yoga system, first of all, one has to control the senses, follow all the rules and regulations, practice the sitting posture and the breathing process, concentrate the mind on the form of Vishnu within the heart, and then become absorbed in that form. There are 8 processes in this Ashtanga Yoga system, but herein Arjuna says, quite frankly, that this Ashtanga Yoga system is very difficult. Indeed, he says that it appears impractical and unendurable to me. Actually, the Ashtanga Yoga system is not impractical. For where it impractical, Lord Krishna would not have taken so much trouble to describe it. It is not impractical, but it appears impractical. What? Prabhuji, scroll. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Janataji. I just called Giriraj Prabhu, so he's on his mobile as well, so he's not picking up the phone. So I don't know whether there is a network issue at his end.
Prabhuji, so we leave the call, Prabhuji?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's 50.
Okay,
Yeah,
Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
I think we can leave the call. Thank you. Just hold on, Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, yeah.
Internet issue हो गया प्रभु suddenly.
That's what, yeah. Okay.
Connected
You
with
were just
other
about to
network.
leave the call and you entered.
Sorry. Sorry, Prabhu. Let us read. I mean, Mother, where did you stop? I'm not sure. We'll read another 10 minutes and see. Okay, then we'll wrap up. So where are you? You were seeing, right?
That
Reading
paragraph, Prabhuji, last paragraph.
Ashtanga Yoga. This
Yes,
is the
Prabhuji.
crucial test. You can jalan Mali.
Yes, Prabhuji. This is the crucial test of the eightfold Ashtanga Yoga system expounded herein by Lord Sri Krishna. It has already been explained that one must sit in a certain way and concentrate the mind on the form of Vishnu seated within the heart. According to the Ashtanga Yoga system, first of all, one has to control the senses, follow all the rules and regulations, practice the sitting posture and the breathing process, concentrate the mind on the form of Vishnu within the heart, and then become absorbed in that form. There are 8 processes in this Ashtanga Yoga system. But herein Arjuna says quite frankly that this Ashtanga Yoga system is very difficult. Indeed, he says that it appears impractical and unendurable to me. Actually, the Ashtanga Yoga system is not impractical. For were it impractical, Lord Krishna would not have taken so much trouble to describe it. It is not impractical, but it appears impractical.
Yeah.
What may be impractical for one man may be practical for another. Arjuna is representative of the common man in the sense that he is not a mendicant or a sannyasi or a scholar. He is on the battlefield fighting for his kingdom. And in this sense, he is an ordinary man engaged in a worldly activity. He is concerned with earning a livelihood, supporting his family, and so on. Arjuna has many problems just as the common man. And generally, the system of Ashtanga Yoga is impractical for the ordinary common man. That is the point being made. It is practical for one who has already completely renounced everything and can sit in a secluded, sacred place on the side of a hill or in a cave. But who can do this in this age? Although Arjuna was a great warrior, a member of the royal family, and a very advanced person, he proclaims this yoga system impractical. And what are we in comparison to Arjuna? If we attempt this system, failure is certain. Shall I read, Prabhuji? Or?
I go through it. This paragraph.
Yes, Prabhuji. Therefore, the system of mysticism described by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, beginning with the words Suchau Deshe and ending with Yogi Paramaha, he is here rejected by Arjuna out of a feeling of inability. As stated before, it is not possible for an ordinary man to leave home and go to a secluded place in the mountains or jungles to practice yoga in this age of Kali. The present age is characterized by a bitter struggle for a life of short duration. As Kali Yuga progresses, our lifespan gets shorter and shorter. Our forefathers lived for 100 years or more, but now people are dying at the age of 60 or 70. Gradually, the lifespan will decrease even further. Memory, mercy, and other good qualities will also decrease in this age. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Sirisha Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Can
Yeah.
ask anyone to read Prabhuji? I'm offering Gila.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Sure.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Pallavi Mataji. So,
In Kali Yuga, people are not serious. People are not serious about self-realization, even by simple practical means. And what to speak of this difficult yoga system, which regulates the mode of living, the manner of sitting, selection of place, and detachment of the mind from material engagements. As a practical man, Arjuna thought it was impossible to follow this system of yoga, even though he was favorably endowed in many ways. He was not prepared to become a pseudo yogi and practice some gymnastic feats. He was not a pretender, but a soldier and a family man. Therefore, he frankly admitted that for him, this system of yoga would be a waste of time. Arjuna belonged.
Yeah, 1 second. Arjuna belonged to the royal family.
Arjuna belonged to the royal family and was highly elevated in terms of numerous qualities. He was a great warrior, he had great longevity, and above all, he was the most intimate friend of Lord Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead. 5,000 years ago, when Arjuna was living, the lifespan was very long. At that time, people used to live up to 1,000 years. In the present age of Kali Yuga, the lifespan is limited to 100 years. In Dwapar Yuga, the lifespan was 1,000 years. In Treta Yuga, the lifespan was 10,000 years. And in Satya Yuga, the lifespan was 100,000 years. Thus, as the yugas degenerate, the lifespan decreases. Even though Arjuna was living at a time when one would live and practice meditation for 1,000 years, he still considered this system impossible. Continue, Jayala Prabhuji.
Yeah, change.
5,000 years ago, Arjuna had much better facilities than we do now. Yet he refused to accept this system of yoga. In fact, we do not find any record in history of his practicing it at any time. Therefore, this system must be considered generally impossible in this age of Kali. Of course, it may be possible for some very few rare men, but for the people in general, it is an impossible proposal. If this were so 5,000 years ago, what of the present day? Those who are imitating this yoga system in different so called schools and societies, although complacent, are certainly wasting their time. They are completely ignorant of the desired
Then
goal.
we do know. Hare Krishna Mataji. Internet giving testing. Hare Krishna Mataji. Pallavi Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Yeah, 5,000 years.
Okay, acting start cheyala, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
5,000
Sudden
years.
disconnect అయింది.
Okay. 5,000 years ago, Arjuna had much better facilities than we do now. Yet he refused to accept this system of yoga. In fact, we do not find any record in history of his practicing it at any time. Therefore, this system must be considered generally impossible in this age of Kali. Of course, it may be possible for some very few rare men, but for people in general, it is an impossible proposal. If this were so 5,000 years ago, what of the present day? Those who are imitating this yoga system in different so called schools and societies, although complacent, are certainly wasting their time. They are completely ignorant of the desired goal. Since this Ashtanga yoga system is considered impossible, the Bhakti yoga system is recommended for everyone. Without training or education, one can automatically participate in Bhakti yoga. Even a small child can clap at Kirtana. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has proclaimed Bhakti yoga the only system practical for this age. Harer namaiva kevalam kalau eva naste eva gatir anyatha. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is chanting the holy name of Lord.
Yeah, 3 times saying there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. Chanting is very simple. చదవండి మొత్తం ఇంతవరకు చదవండి ఈ శ్లోకం వరకు చదవండి 634.
Okay. Chanting is very simple and one will feel the results immediately. Pratyaksvagamam. Pratyaksavagamam. Dharmayam. If we attempt to practice other yoga systems We will remain in darkness. We will not know whether or not we are making progress. In Bhakti Yoga, one can understand, yes, now I am making progress. This is the only yoga system by which one can quickly attain self-realization and liberation in this life. One doesn't have to wait for another lifetime. Kankalam hi manaha Krishna.
Chanchalam.
Chanchalam, sorry. Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna pramati balavad dridham tasyaham nigraham manye vayor iva suduksharam. For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna, and to subdue it seems to me more difficult than controlling the wind. Continue, Jala Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Okay. By chanting Hare Krishna, one captures the mind immediately. Just by saying the name Krishna and hearing it, the mind is automatically fixed on Krishna. This means that the yoga system is immediately attained. The entire yoga system aims at concentration of the form of Vishnu. Sorry. And Krishna is the original personality from whom all these Vishnu forms are expanded. Krishna is like the original candle from which all other candles are lit. If one candle is lit, one can light any number of candles, and there is no doubt that each candle is as powerful as the original candle. Nonetheless, one has to recognize the original candle as the original. Similarly, from Krishna, millions of Vishnu forms expanded, and each Vishnu form is as good as Krishna, but Krishna remains the original. Thus, one who concentrates his mind on Lord Sri Krishna, the original supreme personality of Godhead, immediately attains the perfection of yoga.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Asamshayam Mahabaho Manodirnigramam Chalam Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyene cha Gruhyate. Right. This Prabhu. Sunil Prabhu. Chadan Prabhu. Read Prabhu.
Okay, this one. The blessed Lord said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by constant practice and by detachment. E.g. 6.35. Krishna does not say that it is not difficult. Rather, he admits that it is difficult, but possible by means of constant practice. Constant practice means engaging ourselves in some activities that reminds us of Krishna. In this society for Krishna consciousness, we therefore have many activities, kirtana, temple activities, prasada, publications, and so on. Everyone is engaged in some activity with Krishna at the center. Therefore, whether one is typing for Krishna, cooking for Krishna, chanting for Krishna, or distributing literature for Krishna, he is in the yoga system, and he is also in Krishna. We engage in activities just as in material life, but these activities are molded in such a way that they are directly connected with Krishna. Thus, through every activity, Krishna consciousness is possible, and perfection in yoga follows automatically. Asa mya atmana yogo dus prapa iti me mati vasya atmana tu yatata sakyo avyatum upayata. For one whose mind is unbridled, self-realization is difficult work. But he whose mind is controlled and who strives by right means is assured of success. That is my opinion. 6.36. The Supreme Personality of Godhead declares that one who does not accept the proper treatment to detach the mind from material engagement can hardly achieve success in self-realization. Trying to practice yoga while engaging the mind in material enjoyment is just like trying to ignite a fire while pouring water on it. Similarly, yoga practice without mental control is a waste of time. I may sit down to meditate and focus my mind on Krishna, and that is very commendable. But there are many yoga societies that teach their students to concentrate on the void or on some color. That is That is, they do not recommend concentration on the form of Vishnu. Trying to concentrate the mind on the impersonal or the void is very difficult and troublesome. It is stated by Sri Krishna in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, 12.5. Klesho adhika taras tesam avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukham deha vabhir avyapyate. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied.
Yes, Prabhu. 1 second. Thank you, Prabhuji. These 2 paragraphs. Sapan Prabhu, can you read? We'll wrap up once you read.
Yes, Prabhuji. In the temple, the devotee tries to concentrate on the form of Krishna. Concentrating on nothingness, on void, is very difficult, and naturally the mind is very flickering. Therefore, instead of concentrating on the void, the mind searches out something else. The mind must be engaged in thinking of something, and if it is not thinking of Krishna, it must be thinking of Maya. Therefore, pseudo meditation on the impersonal void is simply a waste of time. Such a show of yoga practice may be materially lucrative, but useless as far as spiritual realization is concerned. I may open a class in yogic meditation and charge people money for sitting down and pressing their nose this way and that. But if my students do not attain the real goal of yoga practice, they have wasted their time and money, and I have cheated them. Therefore, one has to concentrate his mind steadily on the form of Vishnu, and that is called samadhi. In Krishna consciousness, the mind is controlled by engaging it constantly in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Unless one is engaged in Krishna consciousness, he cannot steadily control the mind. A Krishna conscious person easily achieves the result of yoga practice without separate endeavor, but a yoga practitioner cannot achieve success without becoming Krishna conscious.
Haribal. Yeah. So this is done, the chapter. We'll continue on Wednesday. So these last statements are beautiful actually. So a Krishna conscious person easily achieves the result of yoga practice. Easily. How can he easily achieve? Because he is engaging his senses in different Krishna conscious activities. Prabhupada mentioned in previous purports. By typing, by writing, by using mind in chanting, hearing, and in cooking, distributing books, by offering, by worshipping. That way we are remembering Krishna. That is the ultimate goal of yoga system actually. So a Krishna conscious person easily achieves the result of yoga practice without separate endeavor, because engaging all the Krishna conscious activities center around Krishna. That's why it's called Krishna conscious activity, center around Krishna. But a yoga practitioner cannot achieve success without becoming Krishna conscious. So Prabhupada mentioned different yogas and different meditations that won't achieve purpose. It's a waste of time and waste of money. And it is cheating, Prabhupada saying. What is the real yoga? Real yoga is Bhakti Yoga. In this Bhakti Yoga, inclusive of everything. In this Bhakti Yoga, Samadhi is there, Karma Yoga is there, Jnana Yoga is there. Complete bound end-to-end. In IT we call end-to-end. So that is there in the system of Bhakti Yoga. Chanting, hearing, remembering, serving. Serving in different capacities, in different activities. So that way we are meditating, we are remembering Krishna. That's what the real yoga means. To link ourselves with the Supreme. How can we link the Supreme? By engaging all of our senses in his activities, in relationship to his activity. That means Krishna-centered activities. We always say that. Krishna-centered activities center around. So that's why that's the real yoga. That's the perfection, path of perfection also. This book is called Path of Perfection. So Wednesday we will read this one, Failure and Success in Yoga. chapter 8. Okay, sorry for the internet connectivity issues. I am also wondered actually why suddenly happened. So I'll check that, and we will connect on Wednesday. And I hope you are all doing Damodarashtakam at your homes. Now we are in this month, Kartik Damodar Mas. So please practice that Damodarashtakam. Maybe Wednesday we will do first 5 minutes Damodarashtakam and then continue our readings. Okay, Prabhuji Sanmatais?
Yes,
Thank you so
Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaः. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Nitai Gaur Vande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, Sunil Prabhu, Bhakti Mataji, Sapan Prabhu,
Thank
Samyukta
you,
Mataji,
everyone. Thank
Mataji,
Hare
Jai
Krishna.
Shri
you. Thank you very much.
Shirisha Mataji, and other Matajis who joined little earlier. Thank you so much. Nanav Pranam. Hare Krishna. See you all on Wednesday. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.